Hello, everyone. You are welcome to an encounter with God's Word. I'm Reverend Father Jeremiah Oweh of the Cathedral of Warri, Delta State, Nigeria. Today, I'll be sharing with us what I've titled Flee from Sin. Flee from sin. This reflection is taken from the temptation of Jesus as recorded in St. Matthew's Gospel, chapter 4, verses 1 to 11. Now, when God created the world, He created the world good. He did not create the world good and at the same time evil. However, evil and sin came as a result of man's free will. In Genesis chapter 2, verses 16b to 17, God commanded Adam and Eve, saying, "You may eat of every tree of the garden, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. For in the day that you eat of it, you shall die." The phenomenon of temptation is a facility that is open to everyone that has attained the age of reason. It is the urge, incitement, or inclination to sin. We can also see it as a test of our ability to resist the invitation to sin. In other words, temptation precedes every sin. To be tempted, there must be an agreement between the senses and the mind. A temptation becomes sin when the mind accepts it. Because the mind is the central processor in every human being with reason. It is a very powerful determinant of our lives. Temptations appeal to the senses and urge the mind to accept the invitation. The first temptation site is the Garden of Eden. Eve was by herself when suddenly the serpent appeared and opened up a prudent conversation. Somewhere I read that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. There is truth in that assertion. If we will recall, David's temptation came when he was idling away around the palace towers while the Israelites were at war. It was at the idle moment that his eyes caught a woman taking a bath in 2 Samuel 11 verse 1 and following. The talking serpent asked Eve a tricky question. Did God really tell you not to eat from any of the trees in the garden? From the last time we checked, God told them to eat the fruits of all the trees apart from the one at the middle of the garden. Often, temptations come to us in the form of an open-ended questions that may raise confusion in our minds. While Eve was trying to explain the divine instructions, the serpent invited her to take a closer look at the fruit. At the sight of it, her mind accepted the offer of the serpent, who claimed that they would not die if they ate the fruit. The serpent knew that God meant spiritual death, which is the separation from God, but Eve could have thought about physical death. Moreover, the serpent told her that their eyes will be open to know good and evil. The sense of sight is very powerful inlet for temptation. We like to see, and seeing could turn us on or off. In this case, Eve was highly attracted by what she saw, and she went ahead to touch and taste. Sin was committed and sealed. The same thing happened with Adam. He saw, he took, and ate. Someone asked some time ago, what could have happened if Adam refused to eat from the forbidden fruit after Eve had eaten? We can leave this answer to our individual imaginations. In the temptation of Jesus, in the Gospel of St. Matthew chapter 4, verses 1 to 11, it discloses the highest form of temptation. The devil went beyond limits to tempt the second person of the Blessed Trinity, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Ancient of Days. The threefold temptations of Jesus demonstrate to us that nobody is beyond temptation. Furthermore, they help us to learn the tactics of the devil when he wants to lure us into sin. From then, we also learn how to handle temptations, or to put it another way, how to resist the devil or to flee from sin. The devil can only tempt you with what you need. From the temptations, we discover three basic needs that could become channels of temptation for us. We shall pay attention to them chronologically as they are presented in the Gospel. 1. Command these stones to become loaves of bread if you are the Son of God. That our Lord Jesus Christ is the Son of God is not a subject for debate. The devil challenges you to sin by presenting a false picture of your position. He was hungry, and the devil wanted him to perform magic, not a miracle for his immediate need. Our Lord Jesus Christ multiplied 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish for a hungry crowd and not for himself. Matthew 14, 15 to 21, and John 6, 4 to 13. Most of the things we want are not what we need. The devil knows we need some physical provisions and thus uses them as alluring gifts to enslave us. Materialism is the devil's point of sale, POS. Number 2, if you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, He will command His angels concerning you. The second temptation insists on the sonship position of our Lord Jesus Christ. Furthermore, the devil wanted our Lord Jesus Christ to take the promises of God for granted. When God promised protection in Psalm 91, He did not ask us to presume His protection and plunge ourselves into some risky behavior. Somewhere, a pastor asked his members to drink rat poison while assuring them that by God's power, none of them would die. He quoted Mark chapter 16, verses 17 and 18, where the signs that will follow believers included picking scorpions and drinking poison and remaining unhurt. After a few days, many of those who took that poison died. The devil did not ask our Lord not to jump, but to throw himself down. He knew that he belongs to the ground region and wanted our Lord to go down with him. We can recall from the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 9, that we are thrown down from heaven. The third temptation of Jesus: all these kingdoms of the earth I shall give to you if you prostrate yourself and worship me. Beyond temptation, this is an insult. Can you imagine our Lord Jesus Christ bowing to worship the devil? The devil's kingdom has no real glories. They are citadels of darkness and sin. Our Lord Jesus Christ came to undo the powers of those kingdoms. St. Peter tells us that he has delivered us from the kingdom of darkness and transferred us into his marvelous light. 1 Peter 2 verse 9. The devil always gives a false promise as a bait to lead us into sin. James 4 verse 6 says, resist the devil and the devil will flee from you. With this, we are expected to submit ourselves totally to the will of God. To submit ourselves to God means considering God first before doing anything, as our Lord Jesus Christ did during the temptation episode. The devil has a mission, which our Lord Jesus Christ spelled out very well in John 10 verse 10. That the mission of the devil is to kill, to steal, and to destroy. St. Peter enjoins us not to give him an opportunity, because he's always looking for one to devour. 1 Peter 5 verse 8. Beloved, temptations will always come, and they will come to confront us in various times, places, occasions, and seasons. Let us remember the words of St. Paul in Romans chapter 5, 12 to 19. It says, where sin increased, grace overflowed all the more. Though you may see temptation, resist the devil and he will flee from you. Do not be tampered. Beloved, temptation is real. Temptation is not a sin. It is only when you give in to the temptation, that is when it becomes a sin. May God give us the grace to overcome temptation, just like our Lord Jesus Christ overcome the temptations, the tricks of the devil through Jesus Christ our Lord. God bless you.